we are here this evening, right now. We are here right now for something amazing. We're going to have some fun. I have a fun, fantastic, phenomenal woman with me this evening. Her name is Yolanda Rabun.
That I am.
Hello. But I am so excited to be here with Yolanda. And so let me just say this. Yolanda is my friend. She is my sister. She is my mentor. But I will say this, she is also, when you think of the song, I Am Every Woman, It's All in Me, I think of Yolanda Rabun. Why? Because she is, let's start off with, she's a lawyer. Just to be a lawyer by itself is not an easy task. Like, you didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm a lawyer. No, you had to go through work. You had to do lots of things. So she's a lawyer. She is a wife. And anybody out there who has a spouse, you know that spousehood is a job. It's a ministry.
Yeah.
My. It is all those things. She is a mother. Oh my goodness. Oh, and a mother of children
Boy.
who have lived to matriculate through like the first round of school.
Yes.
And she is an actor.
Right.
She is a Grammy voting international recording artist.
hmm hmm
She helps people run their business and get their business together. She is a speaker. She is a mentor. She is a motivator and she is an inspiration. And I'm sure I have left some things off the list.
It's all good. I'm not done. That's all that matters.
Oh, yes. But we also want people to understand the importance of the arts in our lives. I think that people, for lack of a better word, and to sound real hip, they sleep on the arts.
They do. Yeah, and that's true. And the reason why they shouldn't is because the arts is what actually inspires kids to explore and create and be innovative and actually be the future leaders of our tomorrow. It is math, it is science, it is anything else in the curriculum you want to add to it, physical education, it's everything, communication, all the different disciplines that you might think about, art,
Right.
even the art form of things on a canvas. We bring those things to life through dance, through music, through so many different things. So yes, they sleep, but they'll wake up soon because this past year we were without it the way people normally see it. And I
Right.
think that with the emergence of vaccination and the missing of really what made us flourish as a people,
Mhm.
it's going to come back strong, stronger than ever. And I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait either. So, some of my greatest memories in life have happened on a stage, around the stage, behind the stage, and even sitting in front of a stage. So, I am
Yeah.
elated
Yeah.
about just the anticipation of it coming back. So,
Yeah.
yeah, either finish the statement art is or the arts are.
Art is life,
Mhm.
period.
Love it. I love it.
It's joy, it's motion, it's beauty, it's people, it's life.
Because I'm not taking credit for this at all. I didn't make this up. This is not something I created. I am not stealing the copyright for it. It is not mine. I don't even know where it started because I've seen it like on a magazine. They've done this like they on their social media, but the most prevalent place that I've seen it is on the Terrell Grice show. And big shout out to Terrell Grice. The way he puts me on to artists and singers that I would have never known at any other time is phenomenal. And even the ones I do know, because they're episodes that I have definitely watched over and over and over and over and over again. And I'll watch them again. But the game that he plays that I love is called Song Association.
Okay.
Song Association. So how it works is that I'll give you a word and then you'll have 12 seconds because he gives 11 because of the pandemic. He started at 10 seconds.
Okay.
Then he said the pandemic was messing people up, so then he gave him 11. And
Okay.
because this is the arts-a-thon, I'm giving 12. Why
Okay.
not?
Steve. I probably need all those seconds anyway. So this is great. Let's do this.
So you'll get 12 seconds to either come up with a song and sing a song that either has the word in the lyric or the word in the title. Your first word is fall.
Ooh, fall. um, Raindrops keep falling on my head. That's fall.
That's fall. Check. She got it. I'll ask you this. So, in a lot of people's lives, they deal with rain and rainy seasons and raindrops falling on them and, just kind of life's dumps. And I think about, this pandemic period, especially for artists who were so used to performing.
Yeah.
And for performing artists, and I mean, I think the same is for visual artists or any other types of artistry. I even think about the art of teaching, the craft of it. But
Mm-hmm.
for artists, to not be able to do life, as you say,
Mm.
can feel like you're drowning, like you've been rained on and the rain is never stopping.
Mm.
How have you dealt with, or how do you deal with your rainy season?
I think it's all about mindset and how you approach it, because I'm trying to dissect everything you just said. I think I think we have to be careful as to not define ourselves as not having life, because we're not accustomed to um, living life in a different circumstance than when we normally do, right? So life didn't stop with the pandemic. I think people perceived that that was the case, and as a result, didn't do anything. Um, and in all fairness to people being different, it varied right from person to person. So it's not right or wrong if you did nothing or if you were involved, but how you approached it from the perspective of what was possible makes all the difference in how you handle a rainy season, because there's always a time when you need to sit still and assess and then determine what makes sense for you. But in that sitting still moment, in that rainy time, is I think the space where, as opposed to feeling sorry for yourself or regretting what you don't have, you should focus on the blessing that you do have, which might
Mm-hmm.
be the time to strengthen your skill set, to hone your craft.
Your next word is time.
Oof. I'm trying to think of the right words to this song.
That's your 12 seconds. I got inspired to have that word by a piece of artistry that found its way to so many people that people wanted the access for a long time and they couldn't. And then during the pandemic, it became touchable, and
Oh.
that's Hamilton. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, so my song in my head that's singing this is only a matter of time, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. But the access to art is
Mm-hmm.
something that I think that people don't always realize that they're privileged to have.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people who
That's true.
want that access
That's
but
true.
can't get it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You're so
So
right.
thinking about organizations like CTG, it's a
Mm-hmm.
community theater. I did my first musical, like actually song and dance for real out loud, since I don't remember before that. But
Mm-hmm.
because of CTG, I had the opportunity to get on stage and do Memphis.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Right. I was ensemble and I was a strong member of the ensemble. I was
Hey,
happily
loud and
ensemble.
I said, no matter what role you have in a play, you're as important as the one who has the star on the door. And if you
Oh,
approach it
amen.
like that, you will be successful always.
Oh yeah. I mean, but I had so much fun. I
That's
got to
right.
do something that I love,
Mm-hmm.
and I was grown. I had 3 degrees. I had four
Okay.
kids, and I had written myself off somewhat. Even though I will say, my first chance back on the stage, like a real stage, was with The Point. I was able to be in Prodland,
Oh yeah, you
and
were fantastic. Saw that.
I couldn't believe that I actually got cast in the show.
You were fabulous, and you represented. So thank you for holding on to your dream, right?
Yeah.
Because that was not giving up. And no matter where you were in your point in life, because you were accomplished, you still had a dream of doing that, and you did it. So kudos to you. And Rain was absolutely amazing. She was amazing in the show I saw as well. So I know that this is a telethon for the both of you. So I just wanted to make sure we mentioned her name.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
Process of of being fabulous, like her mom.
Yes. I will tell you, she is more of a dancer than I ever really imagined myself to be, and she's only 10.
That's
I
wonderful.
don't know where, I know what her desires are. She desires to be the next Misty Copeland. She wants to be
Her.
a principal ballerina. She
Good for
loves
her.
ballet, even though
Good
she
for
loves learning all forms of dance, but ballet, she loves ballet.
her. That's wonderful.
Um, I never like the things I watch her do with her body at 10
Yeah.
blow me away.
We dream of those things, like putting
Oh,
your leg
absolutely.
up there. Yeah.
Right. And she just goes, whoop,
Yeah.
and she has access to this incredible place. I mean, the point has been life changing for her.
That's
And I mean, we have been to other dance schools, and the point is the place for her to be nurtured, to be loved, to have family.
and the reason why you're talking about the point is because part of the proceeds for tonight are going to go to the point, correct? That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's,
Absolutely. I see firsthand how the pandemic has affected the organization. And, when there's possibility, every Gina Tate, awesome artistic director, owner of the Point,
mm-hmm.
she sees the need. She sees the difference. She knows the role that she plays, even if she doesn't know it fully, because sometimes we just don't see the fruit of all the seeds we plant.
Mm-hmm.
But even when it's frustrating, even when like there's a COVID scare, you have to shut down. Even when, she had to move, she moved her whole studio in the midst of a pandemic, and to attempt to keep the doors open by doing something new. She's taking pivots and doing things that she has to do to keep the doors open for children like my daughter. If it weren't for the Point, we don't know how or what they would be getting, the opportunities they would have. They've been to the National Black Theater Festival 3 times already, and my daughter, who is 10, has been twice.
That's wonderful.
And I'm like, would this opportunity be available if it weren't for places like the Point that access CTG, the Point, and so many organizations just like them
Yeah.
are so badly needed so that we can have performers on a stage to do shows like Hamilton and Newsies and
Mm-hmm.
Songs for a New World and
Yeah.
any other musical or show, any movie that you see. Any type of artistry that we have been blessed to have comes because the artist has been nurtured.
That's right.
But your next word is hold.
Hold on to your dreams. You gotta believe in yourself. Even though seasons they will change. Whatever happens, let it be. With faith, you can do anything, and you will see a brighter day. That was too easy.
Yeah, it was purposeful.
But I think that any child, and this is important for the children, who I think this whole event is trying to help benefit. Um, the children are always dreaming at a young age of all the things that they could possibly be. And in that, um, as they grow older, they sometimes abandon those dreams because their parents either say they need to do A, B, and C, or society says they need to do A, B, and C, or whatever happens, life. And I like to remind people that uh, there are so many things that were planted in you as a child that were purposeful for you to never let go of, because eventually those things are going to give you really true meaning and true purpose. And so I feel like the song is, and my message to people is to remember not to let go of those things that you've always wanted to do, that keep pushing at you to get done, that there are seasons in which many of our gifts actually bloom. Appreciate that concept. Don't give up, and then go after what is already yours, what's been blessed to you, to actually bring to fruition. You just have to acknowledge you had the dream, and then go. I just recently did a concert on Gladys Knight, and that
Yeah.
had been a dream of mine for a very long time, probably since I was a little girl, that I would do a concert on Gladys Knight. And as you know, I have traveled around the world. I've done many albums. I might have sung maybe one of her songs in a show that I was doing, but I've never done a full show of her songs. It was a dream of mine, and I purposely did a full show of a particular album, the first album that I ever saw of Gladys Knight, that influenced me to want to delve into this business of storytelling through music. And so that was a dream. And people look at me and think, oh my gosh, you've done everything. And as I said before, I'm not done. What it is about people like you, um, and I can even say about myself, but I'm going to talk about you, is you have a go getter, make it happen attitude, right? And in order for that to actually work itself out, you solve problems, which means if if someone else can't do it, or if it seems unattainable from a cost perspective or a time perspective, you go get it done, right? And the beauty of, I think, the pandemic is all those tools that might have been only available to people, in private corporations or in, specialty fields, are now being available, are made available to everybody. And so
Right.
we must have no excuse to say, I can't. I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, I did music theory over the pandemic. Yolanda knows music. Yolanda can read, but Yolanda can be better, you know, a better version of herself, because tools that weren't, necessarily available to me before, I have now. And it didn't cost a lot of money, right? We over expense or over, what is the word? We over analyze and overcomplicate that which was meant to be easy
Often.
too often. And I love that you and Rainer are coming together to basically give people an opportunity to give back, and give access to opportunities for other people to do what you're doing right now, right? Because it's that creative space that, whether you're dancing or singing or acting, that opens up the world of, managing a team, or teaching a class, or, you know coming up with an invention that is going to help people around the world. The arts and the world, they're all tied together. It's not
Yeah.
separate. That's why the confusion of why one supports arts or not is a ridiculous concept, because it is life. Art is life. They are intertwined. It is not separable. And once we get that, once we appreciate the creative beings we are, you know, ooh, what our world will become.
Absolutely.
So thank you for this. Thank
Absolutely.
you for opening up this platform to bring attention to the need for focus on the arts and focus on giving access to the arts to any and everybody who have a desire to dive in.
Absolutely. Road. ROAD. Road.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Talking about artistry and roads. Uh there when Jamie Foxx became Ray Charles.
Oh,
Like he became Ray
well,
Charles.
yes, he did.
That piece of artistry, and it's not like I didn't know about Ray Charles before, like I didn't have a clue. Like there's some things in the story, of course, I didn't know.
Right.
But the way he transformed without makeup, without special effects, he just became. And
Art.
I think about so it's art. So I think about all the opportunities that you have presented to you, both on a stage and in life,
Mm-hmm.
and you become all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
How?
I think part of it is study um, of people. I often tell people that I went to college and while I majored in political science, I studied people, and because art is life, and from that perspective, when you get a sense of personalities and of human nature, when you get the opportunity to actually play another another person or even someone who's lived, uh, what you're doing is you're absorbing the essence of what you think they believed. And when you take all of that in and you commit to that, you inevitably you become authentic and real in your presentation. Where I had to actually, become someone was with Nina Simone, and the challenge was not so much delving into her character and becoming her. It was um, letting her go because she took over. And I remember, like, when I did it the first time, my kids were like, can I have my mommy back? Can she come back? Because I had gotten so deep into her essence from what I read about her, from what I heard from her own words, from what I watched on videos, all that. I just, and I think that's what Jamie Foxx did, right? He just slurped it all in. And again, the task is how to let that go, and stay true to who you are. And so the second time when I got an opportunity to play her, I negotiated. I was like, let me tell you something, Nina. I got to keep me. Um, and I'm serious. It was like a personal, as I would learn the lines and like feel like I'm emanating her. It was because I can't imitate her, right?
Mhm.
But as I'm going through that, I'm like, okay, I need Yolanda in that moment right there. Okay, because I mean that was a negotiation. It was like, I know you would have done that, but I'm gonna bring Yolanda in right there. It's almost like a safety, so that if I get too deep, Yolanda can get me out. But I think that's also what drove for me, the good reviews is that I let go and gave myself to her, but I also gave myself out.
All. ALL. All.
Oh, that's all. Uh, as I just did a little part, I go, all of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you?
I was in high school and I met this wonderfully amazing little short lady who had more power in her pinky than I think most people have in their whole bodies.
Mm.
And her name is Lisa McKeever. She worked us out when we were in high school. And I remember sitting in her basement, learning all of this music so that we could be, in spotlight and, be excellent. Working with her and Annette Lehman, freelance choreographer, absolutely
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Working with her and Annette and just we were ready for anything. We could do any performance anytime to the
Okay.
level of excellence. But she also taught us teamwork because, there were 12 of us at that time. And so 12 of us, we had to be a team. And
Yeah.
but then also she made us do things like watch me do this show order.
Oh,
Watch me.
good for her.
I'm getting ready to do all this. I want you to watch me. I need you to listen to me when I'm talking about how we're pulling this together. I need you all to learn how to roll chords at the end.
Yes.
Every single performer will strike this set. You will
Yeah.
set up what you need to set up. You
I
will
like.
stay up late when you need to stay up.
Yeah.
You will know every aspect of this. At
Exactly.
that time, we did not know she was training us to be producers.
Yeah.
We didn't know she was training us to be educational leaders.
Yeah.
We didn't know that she was training us to build up our own teams, to be great mothers, to be great wives.
Yeah.
She trained us through the arts for, like you said, life.
The end. All transferable skills, and also skills that bring joy and bring happiness. Transferable. You will take what you learn in the arts and apply it to the world, and you will take what you learn in the world and apply it to the art. It's a circle. What is that? The circle of life?
Love.
Oh, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
I
Mhm.
cannot think of love without thinking of the arts, without thinking of music. I think of love songs. When I think about romance, I think about the music and the artistry. All right,
Yeah.
your next word is black.
Mm. Black is the color of my true love's hair. His face so soft and wondrous fair, the purest eyes and the strongest hands. I love the ground on which he stands. I love the ground on which he stands.
Hold on now.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nina Simone.
Love, 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 love. Black. And I think about black. I think about people of color, and this is children and adults alike. Sometimes the access to, I won't say quality, I will say a variety
Mm-hmm.
of the arts is just not as available. What I see is that a lot of people don't take advantage or don't see the access points
Okay.
to these opportunities.
What can you do to help change that?
I think things like the Artsathon, one, allowing people to see that they exist.
Yes, because knowledge is power. I saw, and I'm really grateful to being introduced to the company and the play. I call it a play because y'all weren't just dancing, right? And even though the dancers weren't talking, you were talking.
They
There
call
was
it a theatrical ballet.
Yeah, it was a theatrical, phenomenal, extravaganza ballet, because it was all that in a bag of chips. And oh my gosh, more people need to see that. Like more people need to see that. And and experience. And it was excellent. It wasn't even, and it was a multitude of people. So people have to understand this. It was a multitude of children in this production, as well as adults, but mostly, like young to middle school to high school. There were
Six to
boys,
18. 6 to 18 were the majority of the cast.
and the makeup was amazing. And the reason why you need to understand that, I'm not talking about like, little eyelashes. No, no, no. I'm talking about this was the Lion King. And Rafiki looked like Piki from
And
Bronx.
she did her own makeup. Talk
Exactly.
about artistry.
And I talked to her, I asked her about that, and she said to me, she had studied it. And again, that go getter spirit, you expose a child to the possibilities, and they will take it and blow your mind. It was phenomenal. So, allowing kids to be open to anything and attached to nothing is what I feel the point did for me, for what was represented on that stage, because they were jumping and they were splitting and they were acting, and it was like I was like, do people understand what just happened here? And I'm really happy that you're doing this artsathon to raise attention, so that people can understand that it is accessible, and that access can be really a matter of people donating money to help you and the point CTG get the word out that um, opportunities exist. You don't have to do, $10,000 or $1,000 or $500, because if 200 of y'all gave 20, oh my goodness, the difference that would make. And so, watch this, go share it. Um, and while you're pulling out your money, to decide, what to buy that coffee now that the world has opened up again, just think about how you could bless a child. And that child could come and be the reason why your children have a job. Or,
Hello.
you know, um, your grandchildren have an opportunity to shine.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
You touched on something earlier and talking about what can people do to bring the awareness. And you've done it, and I'm praying that people see that that's what I'm doing now, and then that is to champion these programs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yes, the studios, the conservatories, the theaters, they can try to get the word out, but it's only going to be so much that can be done. Word of mouth is one of the strongest forms of advertisement, and it simply comes from other people, like you said, who believe.
Correct. Because arts can bring out a child's gift, if you will, just because it's manifested in a different way.
Right.
I listen to people, as a matter of fact, and this might be like a little divergent, but I listen to people who didn't do well in school, like who are grown right now, who are like rich right now. And I hear them say, I didn't do well in school, but I'm really good at this, which could be in promotion, which could be in creating, and the viability of life in that. Who told you that you were not worthy because you didn't do this? When they all they had to do is allow for you to explore all that you could do and see that applied in that
I know
space.
you got a song for it. So your last word is
Is
hope.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat. Always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leaves you empty handed. I hope you still feel small, just standing by the ocean. And if one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you give faith a fighting chance. And when given the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you, I hope you dance.
Well,
Yeah.
Yolanda, I want to say thank you so very much
Thank you for being
for,
my craziness and having to think on the spur of the moment ness and my retro songs and honestly just thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this